Oh, we're live. This is indeed the Love Gurus podcast. We're going to take ridiculous dating questions from the wild animals on Reddit and from you guys in the chat live on YouTube, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Goddamn right you should. We will.
Listen to the love
You have to do it.
or your life is through.
It's going to be the fucking
Was that a
worst.
threat?
Yes. That means we will come to your homes.
I've been
And we
threatened
will
by your
take you guys
theme
out.
song. Okay.
No, not you guys, the listener. Not you.
Okay,
Not you, the
that
listeners.
makes me feel much better.
Yeah, it's because they have to listen to you too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I've got the real power here if I
Yeah,
want.
pretty much.
If I choose to
pretty
choose
much.
violence.
Yeah. We're sort of I don't know. We're like that red assassin family on Game of Thrones. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like we just kind of sneak around and take people out. Nobody
Yeah.
really knows our motives.
Oh, interesting.
Actually,
We
they
just
do
want to
our
watch the world burn.
Yeah. Fire's good, you know?
Yeah.
I like fire.
Some say fire bad, but I say fire good.
Yeah, dude. People only talk about the bad things fire did. You know when humanity started being humans and stuff? When they invented fire. So shut up. Stop whining about fire.
You cucks all worried about fire
Yeah.
out there.
You know how shitty holy mammoth meat was before fire? It's real bad.
Ugh, gamey.
It's real
Oh,
bad. Yeah.
wow.
It's all fatty.
I don't know, a little mammoth tartare.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of nice on the lips, I must say.
It's not, it's mostly fat. You could light you could run a whole cruise ship off of one mammoth fat.
Yeah,
It's
you
gross.
gotta sear it a little or something.
Exactly.
Wait, what part of the cruise ship are you riding off of the mammoth fat?
The whole thing, man. The whole thing. Like that.
Like the water slide, or what are we talking about here?
the whole thing. The whole thing.
Is it greasing the water slide?
Oh my god!
Well, first you grease the water slide.
It's
yeah.
this cruise ship runs in various ways on mostly mammoth fat.
Yeah. It's like fancy Illuminati cruise ships.
I love
Float,
a.
so you can use it also as a buoyancy or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a
exactly.
lifesaver.
You make little mammoth
Everyone
floaties.
in the pool's like, oh my god, I'm so skinny. I love a little mammoth rimmed cocktail. No,
yeah.
little mammoth fat rimmed
Exotic.
cocktail.
That's right. Mammoth Rimmed Cocktail is my favorite porn website of all time. it's just really good. It's really good. Oh, if you are listening out there, say hi in the chat, man. We got
Yeah.
Matt in the chat. How's it going,
Hi,
Matt?
Matt.
Grab a fiddle, hippies. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Nice.
Thank you for being
Love
here.
it.
Most fire departments are what? There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's introduce our two awesome guests, man. First up, he is a returning guest, a hilarious stand-up comic, the one, the only, Alex Fossella. Thank you for being on the show.
Hi. Hello.
Hello, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you for having me again.
Anytime. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me at on Twitter at afossella, AFOSSELLA, or on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok at Alex Fossella, and I have a podcast called Watch for Mercury, where we follow the new Gundam show.
Wow.
What the hell is what's the Gundam?
Gundam is like a giant fighting robot show. It's been around since the 50s in various forms, and there's a new
Really?
one.
This is the 50s.
Yeah, not the 50s, the 70s.
Is he
Sorry.
still?
70.
Wow.
It's a long time, yeah.
That's amazing.
And there's a new show, and we do like a recap every week. We're going to branch out into other shows when that one
That's cool.
eventually stops. But, yeah, I jumped off the Broadway podcasting and right into the anime. So
Nice.
Well, again, it's like
Two things I know nothing about.
I think what you're doing is just, where the true performances lie, if I must say. Broadway, whatever.
Yeah,
like, we're over
right.
it. Okay, let's get into the robot performances. What robot has won an EGOT is my question. It's
true.
Right.
Who's the first robot that's going to win an EGOT?
C-3PO presumably has an Oscar, but
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
I feel like
He
that's
looks like an
he
Oscar.
looks like one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
a
EGOT
missing
sounds like an
category.
evil robot from Gundam, does it
Kind of
not?
does.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
does.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we have a second guest as well.
Absolutely. Our second guest today, first-time guest to the stand-up, another hilarious podcast, the one, the only Barak Ziv. Thank you for being on the show, buddy.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Tell them where they can find you.
Instagram, Barak Ziv Comedy. That's Barak without the C. No Obama jokes, please. And on Twitter, fun intended.
Yeah.
Or Barak Ziv, I
Nice.
think.
Look 'em up,
And
people.
also, just to clarify, Barak, do you have a podcast or?
No, I don't have a
okay.
podcast.
So
no.
just to clarify, Barak is also a hilarious stand-up comic, not a hilarious stand-up podcast. But maybe again, you had put something out into the universe, and Jake just manifested that through his speech to encourage you to do your own podcast.
There you go.
All right.
There you go. Maybe make one about. I heard there's a show called Gundam that's been on since '7. I want to try to start a little competition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How does it
It's
feel
going to
to
be a fight off of the anime.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be the only person in this room who does not have a podcast? I'm genuinely curious.
You mean in the whole city or the whole country
Yes.
doesn't have a podcast?
Yeah.
I was gonna say you can expand that pretty far. I mean,
Yeah, the blast
everyone's
radius
got
on that is wide.
I've been ostracized for many years about that. People
Yeah.
have been
Yeah.
hating me
It's-
for that. It's
if you,
uneasy.
I don't think any less of you.
Yeah,
That's all.
if you get onto a New York City subway and say, "Hey, can I follow your podcast?" The
Yeah.
responses you get are crazy.
It's
the whole
pretty
car
wild.
is like, "Follow me!"
Even Amish people have podcasts now. It's wild. It's,
Yeah.
probably.
it's a new age we're living
It's mostly about barns, but
Yeah.
How would they broadcast? Like with like a big megaphones or something, or
Yeah.
like
yeah, that's
something,
made of
you know,
paper, like
yeah,
in the,
exactly.
in the
that's
1910s.
That's the livest live podcast.
Well, here's
Yeah.
here's the way Amish people do it. It's sort of like a Sid has like a Shabbos Goyim. They do the same, like Muslims or not Muslim. Amish do the same thing where they'll just have a dude that's not Amish, like, hey man, do you think I could sit in this sinful car thing that you have, and then you press the buttons? You know what I mean? Like,
So
like
they have a
it's kinda-
podcast goy, is what you're
They
saying.
have a podcast going. They have a podcast going. Yeah, it's just sort of like, well, I can't touch these sinful devices, but if some heathen were to come in here for a small fee,
I can't
and
tell
touch
you
the-
about how great Squarespace is, but
Right.
Barry can.
Exactly. And then
Well-
some dude comes in, presses all the buttons, and then they just got to they only use boom mics, so they don't have to touch them like this. But like it'd be the same thing. Because I grew up in a place in Iowa that was kind of around Auschwitz, and you go and be like, how does this store have electricity in it? And how does this, you know what I mean? But it would be sort of the thing to where it's like, oh, well, they have like Mennonite friends and stuff like that.
the reach around for the electricity.
Yes.
The electricity band community.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
God doesn't want Amish people to use the electricity, but he's cool with everybody around him doing it, if you catch my drift.
You think they use like vibrators, like that I don't know, water powered or like hand powered or something like that?
Yeah, they have wooden ones that they whittle themselves and use a hand crank.
Yeah.
And it's
Wildly unpleasant.
yeah. Once you get past the splinters, but a lot of those women, it's pretty much like a catcher's mitten there. You know what I mean? After all that, it's
Oh.
like it's leathery.
Well, here's the question though: is static electricity is a thing. Like, how does the Amish community feel about static electricity?
Dude, I wish I paid attention in science class so I can answer that one.
Well, I'm just because like static electricity, it's like, is that why? I mean, do Amish people not have carpet, like shag carpeting, because
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, where it
will
does a little
create
shock thing?
like static electricity?
I'm glad you asked. I once walked past a lady tied to a stake in Amish town back home in Iowa. I said, "What the fuck was that from?" And they were like, "The devil put electricity in her hair." And it shocked the village elders. So
Yeah.
now we got to burn her like.
Because you
like,
can't tell me that they have
Nicolas
dry.
Cage
That
in
you
Wicker
can't
Man.
tell me that they have dryer sheets to help like get the static electricity out of their hair.
No, but they paid me to get it out of their hair. It's I was their dryer sheet goyim. No,
Also,
that's
I don't know,
what
when
did.
you started telling the story about like you're just like walking by for whatever reason, I imagined you're holding a box of pizza and eating pizza as you do this.
Yeah, I'm just eating. I didn't put the pizza down. I was such a fat bastard back there. I'm like, you're gonna really burn that lady?
You're like, hey,
I'm like,
hey.
right now, like, dude, this smells awful. Luckily, this pizza smells better than that does.
Yeah.
Bad, but
Should I offer her a slice? What's the etiquette here?
this thing's a little undercooked. Can you hold it for a couple seconds?
Well, speaking of undercooked, we're not talking about our brains this week, but
right.
we are talking about. So the theme for this week it's the legend of the other woman.
Oh yeah.
You know,
You hear that? If my wife is listening, that other woman is a lie. Nothing but a legend.
yeah. Again,
urban myth.
We're not
Yes.
trying to be
Fake news.
of course, sexist or misogynist with this podcast, but it's always that it's always that thing. It's the other woman, the other woman. It's not the other man. It's never that. Like, when was the last time? It's like, oh, it's the other man. It's like you never hear that phrase. So what we're doing is we're debunking this. What I hope is that we're debunking, the negative connotation with the phrase "the other woman."
Okay.
I have no idea what you said just now, but I'm down.
No, but think about it. Like think about it's whenever someone is if
Sure.
someone's cheating, it's always the other woman. The other woman is always a negative connotation. It's always the mistress,
Sure.
right? But there is
Ooh,
no
there
name.
is. There is in Spanish. Sancho, guy that fucks your lady while you're in jail.
Oh, that's it. That's the Ali Wong bit. She does.
No,
like
no,
whole,
that's a real word.
But she in her latest special does like a whole bit
Really?
about like how there's a term for
I've
that in
seen that.
Spanish. Yeah, but
There is.
But I mean, kudos to you and your cultural knowledge.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Everyone, once you think, I don't know if Jake knows that much. He breaks out
Yeah.
the phrase Sancho. What?
A lot of people are like, I'll bet Jake didn't listen to Sublime in the 90s. Wrong. I did. That's all I did in high school,
Yeah.
actually. I got high and I listened to that song. They don't call me Sanchoria. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely, I can already feel it. It's going to be a hold on to your seat kind of podcast.
That's right.
So
That's right.
We should just get right into it.
How many Sublime references do I make this podcast?
That would be the wrong way.
I am hornier than Ron Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's start this podcast off. People, if you've got questions to write to the Love Gurus podcast, write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Or even better, listen live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Ask your questions live in the chat. Give us your comments. A lot from Matt this week. He says, you ever see an Amish kid when they leave, they are making meth in half an hour?
Oh, that rum springer
because they
shit.
smoke because they smoke so much like the Amish, they make it old style. Cost. That's right, dude.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Back in Iowa, we made meth with our own two hands.
Yeah.
The way the Lord intended.
That's right.
A little
They
craft.
churn it. They
a
churn it
little
with their
craft
feet.
meth.
Yes, they churn it like butter.
Yeah, pretty much every guy I ever bought meth from back in Iowa did look like Jesus Day 2 on the cross. You know what I mean? Like same look and haggard. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other comments or?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah. So we're just gonna crack on with our first question.
First question on the Love Gurus podcast.
First question. Brother claims that my brother-in-law admitted to liking me. I'm 22 and I just graduated college. I'm currently nannying for my sister's 2 children who are 4-year-old twins. She's 32 and her husband's 35. I also have a brother who's 29. He and his wife, who's 28, just had a baby who's 3 months old, and they're looking for someone to nanny for them. They found a daycare that they liked, but it's expensive and somewhat far away. They asked me if I could also nanny for their daughter, and I told them that honestly, I don't know if I could handle watching the twins and this newborn baby. It was clear that my brother really wanted it to happen, and he said that his wife had a lot of anxiety over leaving their baby with strangers, but I still told them that I just didn't think it was possible. They ended up taking it well, and after that, the situation seemed to have dropped. We just had a family barbecue at my sister's house, and everyone was there. The next day, my brother shows up at my apartment and says that he needs to talk to me. He said that at one point in the night, he was outside talking with my sister's husband, and that he said that he was my sister's husband was very drunk, and that he then said that he liked me, and then continued to make vulgar comments about me. And my brother then said that he didn't think that I should be left alone with him. The thing is, my brother-in-law has never been anything but sweet and respectful to me. I've known him for so long, I look at him like my actual brother. He's a great dad and so sweet to my sister. We've never been in a situation where he's been creepy or weird. So I was talking to my best friend about all of this, and I was really alarmed. My best friend pointed out that maybe my brother knows I'm alone with my brother-in-law every morning when I watch the twins, and my brother knows I'd have to quit nannying for them if the brother-in-law is in fact creepy. My friend thinks that my brother is lying to get me to quit so that I can then nanny his baby.
Oh!
My brother isn't a bad person.
This is like Succession, but with a baby.
This is like a white trash flyover state Succession.
Yeah.
You know?
This
is what happens when thousandaires need a nanny.
Trailer Park Game of Thrones.
My brother isn't a bad person, but he definitely has done questionable things in the past and then justified them in his own head. I asked him if he was going to tell our sister this, and he said that he would, quote unquote, at the right time, which seemed suspicious to me. I don't know what to think. Either way, either if my brother-in-law is secretly creepy or if my brother is lying to me to try and get his own way. What do I do? Do I quit nannying? how do I handle? I mean,
Wow.
yeah, like I think you guys really pinned the tail on the donkey in the sense that this is a thousandaire question. I mean, clearly she is, she's this 22-year-old graduate who's recently graduated college. That being said, I think my advice for her is, hey, start your own life. Start your own life. How about
There you
that?
go.
That's maybe a suggestion.
Absolutely.
She just seems like she's the baby of the family, and she seems like a sweet, nice person. She's nannying twins, which I wouldn't wish on my worst
No.
enemy. I mean, that sounds...
I have one very well-behaved baby, and it's killing me. I couldn't imagine doing twins.
There isn't
Yeah.
even any intrigue involved.
Yeah, it's
no.
yeah,
the things I would make up to get out of nannying those twins.
I mean-
I would be planning.
My
coke
baby
and
says vulgar things about me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It-
I need
It
some
would be
time away
crazy.
from him.
I get that they're they're your niece and nephew, or whatever, that they're your niece and nephew or nieces or whatever. But twins. I mean, that's so hard.
Yeah.
And also, the one thing that she does not point out is, are they paying you? Are
hope so.
Are you just free labor? Or is that how you're paying for school? I mean, that's obviously one question. But also, if you've just graduated, get out there, girl.
Yeah.
Like, get out there, get your own job. Like, unless you want to be some sort of like professional childcare, or you're in it for you're going to be like a child psychologist or something. I guess I could see that. But otherwise,
It's
why
probably
are you doing
just
all these papers?
Probably just a job that's easy with the schedule, because she's probably an aspiring actress or aspiring something that she needs the flexible hours or something like that. So
Yeah.
she choose like a annoying job like that, just
Oh,
the hours
maybe.
are
Right.
crazy
Yeah.
or something.
Or
like
while
that.
she's
I don't
looking
know.
for other jobs, it's like to stop the gap kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
you can't be
Yeah.
flexible with anything if you've got twins, man. So much more. I wonder, do you think it's legal? Now, obviously not in Florida or Texas.
I'm
or something,
very curious
but
how this
do
sentence is gonna end.
Do you think it's legal?
Do you think it's a crime if I do?
you think it's legal if you go into a Planned in a very blue state? Can
Okay.
you go into a Planned Parenthood and be like, Doc, we got twins? No, we still want to be parents, but do you think you could eeny, meeny, miny, mo one of these two? Can you just pick one? I don't even care which. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, well,
whichever's smaller. Get the runt of the litter.
Can you
I'm
do a
not-
Sophie's Choice?
I'm not a doctor, but there's certainly situations where, let's say that the pregnancy is high, because any multiples is a high risk pregnancy, right?
Right.
So where I have heard
Boom.
stories where it's high risk. It's either one or none kind
Right.
of situation, not to get grim about it. And those are
Oh, I
hard
didn't know that was a thing.
situations that parents have to make.
Can you opt for it though? Can you be like? Can we make like a Squid Game out of it? Can you be like the last one to crawl away from the little kebab? Or
Can you
whatever
throw like an
call it?
M&M down there and watch them fight over it, and we'll
Yeah.
pick a winner?
Yeah. Well, I think they just always pick for, again, not to, I think they just pick for either the smaller one or the easier one to get at. I don't know why I have to make that motion, but
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I have heard medically that if it's a high risk pregnancy, that decision does sometimes have to be made.
Because what I'd want them to do is I'd want them to take the little tongies up in there and then watch on the ultrasound and kind of jab at them and the ones to kind of shadow box away
Yeah.
from
See
it
who
the best.
slips, who
Yeah,
bobs
I want
and
to see
weaves.
because it ain't just about who's bigger. I want to see who can slip a jab.
Who can
You know
throw
what
a
I
little
mean?
bit of hands?
Yeah, and they get to fight for it. I think it's fair.
It's,
Wait, so I still don't understand who you think is the liar, the brother-in-law or the brother? Who is actually?
I'm leaning brother.
It's possible the brother-in-law is actually
'Cause-
hitting on her or like interested in her or something.
Well,
like.
no, I
Because that's a tale as old as
yeah.
time, like the husband and the
Yeah.
and the
well,
nanny kind of thing.
but I think Barak has this is what is interesting to me about this question, because she's coming to the internet. She's coming to the internet to find an answer to this. She didn't take her brother's word as truth. She immediately distrusted her brother,
Yeah.
which again, like
Yeah, that's
she
pretty wild.
says, my brother has been known to kind of be a shady guy in the past. I don't know. Like, either the best friend
When you
is
don't
very
trust your own
smart.
brother, he's shady. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one thing not to trust some
'cause
guy down the
she didn't-
street. Or
to be fair,
yeah.
she didn't think it initially, but the best friend was just like, "Girl, what are you talking about? Like, Brian is shady ass."
That's a good point, man. If you because that's a hell of a thing to lie about. And I mean, if you said that one of my brothers was lying to me about something this serious about someone this close to the family, not only wouldn't I believe it, I'd be like, you're a lying piece of shit. Fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I would need video evidence. I would need a video of that guy videoing it just to make sure it wasn't Photoshopped.
Yeah.
Signed affidavits.
Yeah, the amount of evidence. I would be like Bill Cosby's wife. You understand? I would not believe any of this shit, even under a lot of evidence. The fact that she was like, yeah, I could see Fred doing that. Fuck Fred. You know, that to me says that the brother is a douchebag. At first, I thought that sounded way far-fetched. The fact that she's that quick to believe it is kind of like, it says a lot about this guy's character.
She says he made stuff up in the past or something like that.
Yeah.
I want to know what she... First of all, I believe this woman. If this was a script, I'd be like, you got to cut like 5 characters. There's way too much happening in this
I
story
know.
to follow.
It was, I'm
but,
actually
it's
really...
not her fault.
I'm actually really proud of you guys for... because, again, I had to sort of like think of the... You know, I'm a visual person, so I had to like think of it in those terms because we are painting a very like complicated family tree. So like bravo to you guys for like getting it on the
It was a
first
little
day.
bit like 7th grade word problem. I'm like, okay, don't.
Yeah.
Don't get
But
that wrong.
I was real confused at the beginning, but then it started making sense toward the end.
Yeah, once
Yeah.
it gets to the human story.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
like,
the first
okay.
paragraph altogether, I think. Like
Yeah.
economy of words kind of
It's
thing.
a little too much world building.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
The lore's a little complicated in this.
I mean, yeah. Most of the time, the people that write these questions, like J.R.R. Martin, has not written one. You know what I mean? Like, they're not all the best. They're not, they're not great at editing. They're not great at character building. It's like, you know, she's not making her brother out with all of the depth of Jaime Lannister. It's just like untrustworthy Fred and his dumb fuck
Yeah.
opinions. You're like, it's like.
So did she say he made stuff up or he just sucks?
Yeah. So what she had said is that my let me find the sentence. My brother. I'm looking for it, but you know, she essentially says that her brother has been known to do things that are shady.
Okay.
And that he has then quote unquote justified it in his mind.
Okay.
So
So he's
essentially-
a psychopath.
Yeah,
is
he's a
what-
narcissist.
That's a little bit what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least a soft psycho.
Yeah,
Okay.
a soft psycho in the sense of like he is. Yeah, I mean, there it does. Again, yeah, it does sound like there's some manipulation going on here.
Yeah.
Even if it's okay, listen, you know, you go ahead and do the twins. It's like, but are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, because also, what's the other piece of information that's missing from this question is what the F did the brother-in-law say? What did the brother-in-law say? Okay,
Right.
tell me if the brother-in-law saying creepy things, okay, tell me exactly what he said.
That's true. That's true.
Tell me
And
exactly
I'm
what he
glad
said.
you pointed out that glaring lack of detail.
Maybe he just said, "Oh,
Yeah.
she's so great with the kids," and then the brother comes back and
Right.
is like, "Oh, he said creepy things about you." It's
Yeah.
like, oh, maybe he was actually just being a nice person and like thanking
yeah.
you for what you did for his kid.
Yeah, or like that's like that's a nice dress or something. You know what I mean? But the way somebody else took it was like, oh, creepy or whatever.
I mean, that's how they start, though. They kind of like make
that's
it
probably
like
how it started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
If-
there's a picture and then the brother puts like the creepy
Yeah.
Instagram filter on
Yes.
it. Then all of a sudden
Right.
it's like, huh.
Yeah.
Oh, the
could've
other
been
option,
anything.
and I think more likely the brother is the one that sucks. The other option is the brother-in-law is the psychopath, and he's just like
Sure.
so sweet when he see, and then she turns her back and it's just creep.
Maybe the brother-in-law is such a good psychopath that it turned out the brother was actually telling the truth about all that other shit in the first place.
What if they're both psychos?
Yeah, and they're just having a big old psycho off.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can we also like point out the glitch in the Matrix that the cat like just keeps walking by like it's like
Yeah.
nothing?
Oh, yeah,
Like
this-
this,
none of
is,
this is-
this
normally
is the second time the
doesn't
cat's
want
walked
anything to do
by,
with us during the
and
podcast,
it's just Anyway, I just feel like it's like a glitch in the
Yeah,
Matrix.
we're all in tubes
Anyway,
with wires
but
in the back
I-
of our heads.
I think
The
that
thing tried to teabag me just now on the
Yeah.
left. You guys couldn't see it, but it's weird. It's normally he doesn't get near us during the podcast.
But I do think that you know, the brother again, but obviously the brother-in-law and the brother have motives for getting this young girl on her side. And so I think that in the situation it's that she just needs to let everyone go. She just needs to let everyone go and do
Sure.
their own thing. Because to me, even if the brother is lying, even if he's right, it doesn't matter. It's definitely getting into like a really complicated family situation that she doesn't need to be a part of because she is a recent 22-year-old graduate, and despite how much she, loves her nieces and nephews, like, do your own thing, live your own life. Like, what are you talking about? You just like did all this, and you're gonna nanny for your siblings.
If you're willing to commit this much world building to Reddit, you are stressed, and you need to get out of that stressful situation.
And also because again, like if she's because the other thing I was gonna say is that she could also just put it up for a bid like an estate sale. It's like $100, $100, $150, so do that. But if money is the issue, clearly they want her to nanny because I'm guessing she's basically getting paid nothing.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Either that or she's the greatest nanny anyone's ever. She's Mary Poppins on roids, which is probably not what's happening.
Yeah, but also the other thing I would say, and again, I'm not trying to comment on anyone's mental health or their anxiety levels, but it does seem a little bit like the brother playing this. Oh, my wife she's so anxious about leaving the baby with strangers. Oh, you mean strangers that are required to have a state license and then get their fingerprints and also, conduct annual CPR training and know how to take care of baby?
And chose to do this as a profession?
Yeah.
There's still crazy cases.
What are you talking about? Yeah.
There is sometimes.
It's not like they're leaving their baby with a troll under the bridge. It's like these are like trained, licensed professionals.
Yeah, and
what is she talking about?
And the reason why they said they didn't want to do daycare was too expensive. So that she's probably the cheapest labor option. So even the ones that are probably nice people in the story, like, yeah, you could shell out a little bit of money and not maybe exploit the 22-year-old. Even if you're not meaning to, you're kind of doing that by accident.
Right, at least pay the 22-year-old.
Yeah, and they're probably paying her, but defo not enough.
I got a lot of comments. I can't read all of these because there's a lot, but we definitely appreciate the comments. Keep them coming.
Yeah, I mean, what
Matt on
legends?
YouTube
We
says,
absolutely love it. Thank you so
there's
much.
more tattoos on the neck than formula in the mess of the house. Twins. Matt says, I guarantee there is a poster of Manson in that house with the twins. Let's see. Amy on YouTube, producer Amy says, Jack never does that. Yeah, it's wild, right? The cat.
I know. Look at him. That is like, I think, Amy, maybe take Jack to the vet tomorrow.
Joel on YouTube says, you started without me. Sorry I'm late. Adulting sucks.
Joel.
Hey, how's it going, man? Thank you for the theme song as always.
Yeah,
dude.
thank you.
Let's see. Matt on YouTube says, if you speak of death, a cat will come.
Sitting right behind me. Should I be worried?
Oh my gosh.
dude.
Wow.
Am I
Matt,
marked? Am I
excellent.
marked?
He's staring right at that lump on your neck, dude.
Oh,
Get that
God.
checked out.
Oh,
Get that
wow.
checked out immediately.
Alex, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
And he was never seen again.
yeah.
Let's see. Matt on YouTube says, now if you have to beat each other with your shoes to get rid of the cat voodoo. Sarah Jean, it's PCP.
Yeah. So I think I'm ready to go to my final advice.
All right, let's do final advice.
I've already said it. It's listen, your family sounds crazy and you're enabling them. It's don't let them steal your youth, girl. Like it's you graduated from college, maybe it's tough, but I think that it's even more tough to find a job for your, dream career or whatever you want to do for your life when you're babysitting 3 small children. Again, unless that's part of your career plan. Yeah, I mean just don't. Like live your life. That's it. Maybe just go to Jamaica for a month. The cat.
Yeah, that was creepy, right?
Oh my God, I'm definitely dying.
now
I'm not
you're
dying
dying.
anymore.
Yeah.
Woo!
Alex is saved.
Ha ha!
The curse was passed on to you. You didn't see the entire time over there, but he was like sacrificing a chicken very quietly.
Yeah.
I mean, your ability to slaughter a chicken.
It's like Kitty, it follows.
Yeah,
For those
that
of
was
you
good.
listening, the cat is now sat behind me, which is so atypical, and then it just tapped me on the shoulder with its tail. I think I'm gonna die tonight.
Yeah, and he keeps doing it in
Wait,
like a rhythm.
wait,
It's crazy.
wait.
Oh, now Death Cat's gonna
You're fucked again, dude.
He's just choosing who he's going to kill later.
Oh yeah.
be. Wow. Oh yeah, get out of here, Jack.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Death. Okay. For those of you listening, the Death Cat just left.
Yeah, we're all safe.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
We're all safe. Let's see.
Anyway, so that was my final advice. What other final advice do you guys have for this person?
I think about what you're saying. I think this person probably likes kids enough that they as an in-between job. This
She
is
seems
probably
lovely.
yeah. This
She
is probably
seems so sweet.
is like a nice fit, but because this environment is getting more and more stressful, and they're fighting over her, probably because it's a race to the bottom of labor like cost.
Yeah.
She definitely should be like, okay, I like this, but this has got to end sooner rather than later. So I'm pretty much with you.
Yeah, what are you going to watch these kids until they're graduating high school? You're going to be in your 40s just watching two twins
and then
grow
what's
up?
going to
Screw
happen
that.
is that then the parents, you know, assuming that their parents are still alive, that you know, then she's going to have to watch the parents. So she's essentially just going to be a caretaker her whole life. Which again,
Sure.
if that's what you choose and that's
Yeah.
what makes you happy, great. But then, you know, again, like just you reevaluate where your own life is going.
I do think she has a bigger problem though, because even with aside from the kids, she has either a manipulative, psychotic brother
Yeah.
or a pervy brother-in-law. So
Yeah.
those problems will continue regardless when the kid's gonna grow. Like
That's a good point.
somebody's
There's
gonna
neither
mess her
good
up.
option.
She needs to
That's
like
true.
get to the bottom line, either like I don't know, surveillance, get to the point and figure out if
Yeah.
it's she actually has a pervy brother-in-law or her brother tried to do something shitty once again and cut him completely. If he's
That's a great idea
So-
because
Yes.
also I feel like a lot of these conversations took place in a garage. So I think that if she just put a camera in her brother's garage and her
Yeah.
brother-in-law's garage,
Some
she would get
mics.
to the bottom of the story very quickly.
Yeah, yeah. You want to get to what's really on deep inside of a man's heart. Film him in his garage. That's right. That's where all the craziness goes down.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say, because I was kind of thinking along the same lines of Barak in that it's not good either way you cut it, and but I think it's important to figure out which it is. You know, like it's bad either way, but I think she should at least figure out what it is. Does she have a crazy, psychotic Christian Bale in American Psycho, but before he killed anybody, but also without the money type of husband?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He can't quite afford the business card
Yeah,
yet.
uh-huh.
Not-
I'll do anything to get to district manager
Yeah.
at Arby's. You know, like that kind of right. That's
not to
going on.
interrupt
with him.
you, but
Midwestern Psycho.
he didn't even
I'll
buy a
put
first
coke in the
chainsaw
other
in
guy's
his
car. Yeah,
not to interrupt you, but I think that she either is in a country song
Yeah.
or an R&B song.
Right.
like a rap hip hop song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
She's either in the
It's
the
going to be
coun-
like kind of rap, kind of
the
country,
country
Morgan
song
Wallen.
where it's like the brother-in-law is the
Yeah.
creepo, and then
Uh-huh.
the rap song where it's like the manipulation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Or am
I
want
want to fuck my sister-in-law is my favorite Morgan Wallen rap / country song. I don't care that he's been canceled. I love it. But no, so okay. Here's how you do it. All right. And this is going to come in 2 rounds. You know, you got it, because if the brother-in-law really is a nice guy, but he does that, alcohol's the key to this fucking thing. You know what I mean? Because some dudes flip. Some dudes flip when they're fucking drunk, and
Yeah.
they got, you know, and sometimes people say, well, they get drunk and the real them comes out. Sometimes that's true. Other times guys are just such bad alcoholics they black out and they fucking just go crazy. You know, I know people like
Yeah.
that. You know, and they
They're
just
not
such
saying
bad
they're not
drunks.
saying the truth.
They're
They're just
not
saying
themselves
like
anymore. Yeah.
inflammatory things essentially.
They turn into Kanye West for the duration of the fucking drinking binge, and then they have no recollection of it, and it's things they would never ever say in a million years ever, right? So
Yeah.
you got to figure out what it is, and I think the secret to that is you got to have you find a trustful male figure in your life, a friend, a cousin, just somebody who's going to hang out with this guy, and you're going to the answer's sitting right in front of us. Drink the blue White Claws with them. These fucking things are 8% alcohol. These goddamn things are like moonshine and bubbles. They admittedly don't taste very good, okay? But they will get you trashed very quickly. So you get him drunk on blue bubbles, you start scrolling through Instagram and just be like, hey, look at Maria's dress, huh? Look at that thing, huh? She looks good in red, you know?
What hashtag do you want to search now, huh?
Yeah.
Hot nanny at gmail.com.
This is the Kentucky wisdom of Solomon. Just
What's your favorite dark website? You know what I mean? And you just you kind of you
now,
started
if you
interrogating.
were going to go with the dark web, and I'm not saying you are, where would you go first?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's like
Well,
I'm not saying Epstein's a good guy, but if I owned an island, I'd go bonkers too. You know, and you just start make him feel comfortable.
You know, see that Waco documentary?
Yeah.
How do we feel about Koresh?
Yeah, it's like I don't think my kids should watch Bill Cosby shows, but who never wanted to fuck a girl while she's asleep? You know, you throw things like that.
I do kind of love the idea of just like getting a male friend who's like, I'll get him sauce,
No.
and we're gonna find this out.
I'm
Like,
not okay. I'm not.
They
trying
call that
to,
soft interrogation, liquid interrogation.
I'm not trying to yuck your yum, but I think that she should get the best friend. To me, is clued in. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Again,
So
but
she's
also,
already got it in.
I don't know. You know what the best friend identifies. You know, male, female, whatever. So it's but I think get the best friend involved because
I think probably,
that person seems clued
No,
in.
I don't remember who the best friend is. Like, where did the best friend?
The best friend was the one that pointed out that the brother is probably just doing this as a manipulation tactic.
But her best friend's like a woman, right?
Oh, it doesn't say.
Okay, I'm guessing it is. It would be weird if it wasn't. You know what I mean? Like it would be.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, no, but
It'd be weird.
I'm just saying it just. But also, to me, it doesn't matter. It just
Well,
get the
it
best,
does
get
to
the
me.
best friend involved.
It does because it's going to be easier to get this guy to loosen up and start talking shit if it's another guy. You know, that's what happened the first time. He was around another guy.
They'll be guarded because
Yeah.
they know she's like that friend is like.
Exactly.
They're like,
Yeah,
Exactly. It's got to be a
good
male.
point. Obviously, like they're gonna know that the
Yeah.
best friend has those alliances.
It's almost like a exactly.
No,
It's almost like a
that's
spy
okay.
or
That's a
something.
good
Yeah.
point.
Whereas if it's a dude, he's going to be more likely to open up. So
Fair enough.
that totally
Fair enough.
matters.
Okay,
That-
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
So you got to get a guy to get him drunk, or just hey man, you all go out together and you just be like, hey, we'll just have a couple White Claws. You had the tasty purple ones. You had the purple dogs there, you know, and you're like, it's only 3 little White Claws, only 3 little ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you drink 3 of these. I mean, you're saying shit you don't mean all the time. You know, 3 of these, you're feeling pretty good. So go out an afternoon just with a bunch of you and just see if does he start acting different? Is his social filter gone? Is he, you know what I mean? Just if a guy is getting drunk enough to where he's going to talk to his what brother-in-law about how he wants to fuck his sister. The people that are more or less in the family, you know what I mean? It's him about how he wants to fuck his sister. He does wild shit because he's drunk. You know what I mean? Like that's not some normal. I'm a drunk guy. That's pretty out there. So
there's definitely like barriers being crossed in that. Even if it's
Yes.
if it's blackout drunk speech, that's like
it's
a barrier
pretty weird.
that you kind
And
of
if he's doing that, he's
never
also doing
cross.
other crazy shit too.
Yeah.
So like, ask his. I don't know how close she is to his wife. You know, but like ask her, just sort of sit her down, maybe take her out for some blue White Claws. You know what I mean? Give her a little liquid interrogation, and you'd be like, hey, so Frank seems like a cool guy. I'll bet he likes to throw him back though. I'll bet he gets too soft sometimes.
Melissa, do you ever think about Charles? Do you ever think about Charles in that way?
Boom.
Yeah.
And you just even make up some stories about your husband. It's like I love my husband, but he drinks too much. I'll tell you when he's drinking purple White Claws, he doesn't shut the fuck up about other women. Does your husband ever? Does he seem like a cheater? You know what I mean? And you just pry it and just talk shit about your husband, even if it's not true, just to get it to come out of her. And because if this guy's a drunk like that, he's a fucking pain in the ass to live with.
It just kind of dawned on me if let's say hypothetically the brother-in-law is a creepy one.
Okay.
And I don't think he is. How stupid would you have to be hey, I know we're having this nice family gathering. Hey, brother, come here. I want to fuck your sister. So
you know what I mean?
That would be the dumbest
That's what I'm
move,
saying.
which
It's
makes
wild.
me feel like
But
it's a lie.
It's
what
a
I'm saying.
wild drunk move.
It's
It's
like
drunk or it's just made
I
up.
get that.
well,
Like
yeah,
sometimes
right,
that people
yeah.
are like super drunk, they say like weird ass things.
Yeah, like what a
But
weird
it's
way
like-
to blow your own cover.
But also
That's right.
You wouldn't like there's like a line, like even if you're like super drunk, it's like you kind of still always know there's like a line not
Yeah.
to
Unless you're
cross.
completely blacked out. If you are the type of person who, because there are people who completely black out and they do insane things, like nutball should be in a fucking straitjacket type things. And if he's doing that, he's that type of blackout drunk. And so you need to figure out if indeed he's that type of blackout drunk by getting him fucking drunk and seeing what happens.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you test this guy.
This is definitely okay. That just as a PSA, this is we're obviously clearly not qualified to speak.
Fuck
to,
yeah!
to
Yes,
speak-
we are. Yes,
to
we
speak
are.
If anyone has a drinking problem.
Listen, as someone with a drinking problem, the only way through the hurricane is not to drop anchor. All right, buy more.
Because that's what I was going to say. Like, essentially what we're suggesting is the only way out of the crevasse is through.
That's right.
To quote Alec Baldwin from 30 Walk.
That's right. You need to
30 Walk.
and to quote him from his new movie, I'm pretty sure this gun's not loaded, you know? So
oh, that's sad. Oh,
but yeah, so what I'm saying is
yeah.
just get this fucking guy drunk. If he is the type of guy who's going to do crazy shit like this because he's drunk, he's a wild alcoholic, and so just get him drunk and see if he does wild shit, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
I think we figured it out. It's the brother, right? It's not the brother-in-law, pretty much.
That's what
I think.
I think it
that's
is,
what I think.
but we don't know for sure until we get this man annihilated on Blue White Claws.
No, but again, I think if we had to make a snap judgment, yeah.
If it was a table game and I had to bet, if this is a game of roulette,
she probably would have smelled creep all right, and if he's
right.
So in that case, what should she do? She should just cut ties with the brother, or because he's gonna manipulate her and other things later down the line. He's gonna like I don't know, when it comes to inheritance
Good
or
point.
relationships or something
Yeah.
like that. So
well, yeah, again, like if the parents get sick and she, oh, well, you're the only one that really has a job that you could take away to take care of the parents. Yeah. Again, like if your brother
He's gonna
continues
play
to manipulate you, get yourself a therapist and get the F out of there. So. But I think we answered that question. I think we should move on to the next question.
Absolutely. Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. People write your questions in to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, watch live every single Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Give us your questions. Give us your comments live right there in the chat. Oh, speaking of which, Matt says on YouTube, drink Purple White Claws with the snapper. You guys drinking Purple White Claws on the playground. The snapper? I don't even know what the snapper is.
I don't know if that's like a wrestling move or a
fish.
I
know what a red snapper is.
Yeah,
I've
dude.
eaten that before.
If there's other types of Purple White Claws out there and I don't know about them, I'm fucking sad.
Oh, maybe it's like a delicacy, like you cook a red snapper in a purple white claw.
Dude, yeah, and by the end
as
of
like
the
a
fish,
reduction, like
yeah, No, it's there's so much alcohol in these, it doesn't cook out. You understand? You just waste it by the end of that entree.
Penne alla White
do
Claw.
like what's it the flambe where you like light it on fire?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
you can run your car on Purple White Claws. This shit is great.
you got penne alla vodka, you can have snapper on the White Claw.
Penne alla Purple White Claw.
Yeah. Penne alla
That's
claw.
a fucking dish right there. All right. Let's see. Everything is back. Oh, Joel says everything is back now. That was weird. Hopefully we didn't go off air. I think we've still been on air. Let's see. Matt says find a totally insane pit bull. Give it to this guy as a gift. Yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah. Great idea. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Well, we answered that question. Let's move on to the next question.
Next question.
Okay. Next question. Husband won't admit that he's cheating. I'm 37 and my husband is 39. 2 days ago, I was at home on my day off, just watching TV on the couch, when someone knocked on the door. I opened it, and a young woman who looked like she was in her early 20s was standing outside. I asked what she wanted, and she very confidently said that she was my husband's girlfriend.
What? Oh, fuck,
and that
dude.
she was here to see my husband.
I bet she's the wife of the creepy brother-in-law. I bet this guy is just killing it all over.
The twist is all the questions are in the same universe.
She then said, I didn't know he had a maid. I told her that I was not his maid, I was his wife.
Yikes.
But she didn't believe me and argued with me that he was single before I got so angry that I just slammed the door on her face. I then called my husband immediately to tell him that his girlfriend had shown up at our house and that he was not allowed to come home anymore, but he kept insisting that he didn't have a girlfriend and that he wasn't cheating. After his workday ended, he showed up at home and tried to talk to me, but I just ignored him. He keeps trying to convince me that he has no girlfriend, despite the fact that I literally met her and talked to her. He won't admit anything. I'm scared to tell my family because I don't want them to take his side and think that I'm a crazy wife making up some stories to defy him, since he insists that he's innocent no matter what. How can I explain the situation to my family without the risk of sounding like I'm making it all up?
Wow, man.
Wow.
I mean, you talk about gullible, dude. The girlfriend's the most gullible at all. You know what I mean? Like she clearly does not know that she's a side piece.
Yeah.
So she's just showing up, going like, I don't know how to maid, and then she's like, I'm his wife. Look at this fucking ring, and she's like, oh my God, what kind of maid wears a fake wedding ring and puts pictures up? Who photoshops a fake wedding picture and puts it up all around the house? Did you hire these kids from Central Casting? What happened? Who said you hired them from Central Casting? Like, how? Oh my God. Hats off to this guy for tricking a lady.
I'm just saying that I think that there is maybe another side to the story. And it's that there's like a bachelorette party challenge where you challenge the bride to go to 5 random doors in the daytime and say, "Oh, I'm your husband's." What? Wow. It's not nice. It's not nice.
If it doesn't exist, we should do it. We should start it, and we'll get way more views on TikTok than we're getting now.
Because that's what I think. It's, again, to me, it sounds bonkers. That this woman,
it's pretty out there.
She clearly knows where this guy lives, because if she knows where this guy lives and she's been to the house, she doesn't come to the door like, I know you're his wife, we've effed in your bed, whatever. She comes and says, "Oh, I didn't know he had a maid." Clearly, if you are the other side piece and you are going to his house, her things are gonna be there. Like, you don't notice that? What are you talking about?
This is clearly a married couple's house. Yeah. You can tell from the fucking outside half the time.
So to me, it's bizarro that the girlfriend is so dumb. She has gone to this quote-unquote boyfriend's house and not noticed that another woman lives there. Like, that would never happen. Like,
she just turned down all the pictures before she got down.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about? So again, to me, and then the fact that the husband's like, again, I'm not saying he's innocent by any means, but I'm just saying that he is clearly. Me, that's why I'm saying it's almost like they are the woman that knocked on the door, her friends and she are playing some really sick game. Like, they're just knocking on doors.
Third option.
Yes, I'm into it.
She knows there's a wife, didn't expect her to see at the door, saw her, panicked, started just spouting nonsense. I didn't know she had a maid. I'm his girlfriend. Yeah. This sounds like panic talk to me.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but it could be.
She's trying to.
The maid?
It was the type of thing to where it's like she's not necessarily. She's in panic talk mode. I could kind of see this because she's like, I'm in panic talk mode, but my thing, it's sort of like almost like a survival reflex to where it's like, I just have to get myself out of this situation.
Yes, whatever my mouth can do to make me leave this room.
Yeah, and like, I'm not even trying to defend him at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to be like, make it seem like she's playing dumb, I think, maybe.
What if it's like, like there's like those people that they have like the random meetups or whatever.
Okay.
Maybe it's that. Maybe it's like that, the random meetup. It's a random meetup gone wrong. Like she was actually meant to go to the neighbor's house and be like, I didn't know there was a maid. And then the woman in the house next door is like, yeah, you're right. How dare you?
Yeah.
This is role playing gone wrong.
I like this. It's like the guy is
She's
super
trapped in the scene, basically.
Yeah. And then she and then the woman knocking on the door is like, oh shit.
She's not yes-anding. What do I do?
It's pretty rough. Yeah, man. The guy is super into the role play thing where he's like, I need my fetish is to have an escort worker come here and pretend that she's my side piece, And but he fucking writes 6 instead of 8. And it fucks the whole role play up, Yeah, he ends up. Not only doesn't he get to fuck, but he just spent $200 an hour for her to ruin somebody else's marriage.
Unless that's his fetish.
He's got 2
He's
escorts.
in the bushes.
Well, that's
he's like, I'm going to have sex with the one escort while the other escort goes and ruins the Phillips's marriage.
Now the whole cul-de-sac's up in arms. It's just a nightmare.
He's like a horny Stephen King villain.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there like, I'll ruin their marriage and their marriage and their marriage. And then eventually this whole concrete circle will be unhappy and divorced.
And the clown is there.
And there's a masturbating evil child clown.
There's just a mouse car doing donuts in the cul-de-sac.
And he's laughing maniacally. Ha ha ha! Beep beep! Ha ha ha! Beep beep! Every time our marriage gets ruined, he fucking lights confetti and shit, and he has burning confetti in the air while he plays evil trumpet noises.
Again, to me, what doesn't make sense about this situation is that it's not. I get that she maybe doesn't find signs that her husband's cheating, but it's just the girlfriend and something about this story doesn't. It doesn't.
I hear what you're saying. She's so fucking dumb. This only makes sense in like a
someone
weird.
Someone is really dumb in this situation.
What I'm curious about though is she's super worried that lady. What is her family going to think about her thinking about her husband is cheating? Which means her family doesn't trust her. Like maybe what's going on with her in the past that her family. She's worried about her family.
Oh my gosh! What a mature observation.
There's something going on. She's done something in the past, falsely accused in the past, got crazy in the past. That now she's thinking my family's not going to believe me now.
You think this is?
I want to know what's the backstory behind that.
I like that. I love that.
I love that.
I think it could be she stopped taking her medication about a week and a half ago, and now she's going Russell Crowe in A Beautiful Mind.
Was that lady out really there outside even? Yeah.
Some lady came and knocked on the door and said she's fucking my husband. 30 minutes after Ed Harris showed up in a fedora hat and told me that I work for the CIA now, and it's like, well, okay.
No, but yeah, again, Brock, I totally agree with you. It's again, like her question is. How do I explain this to my family without seeming like I made it up? It's not that, that's her question. It's not how do I save my marriage? How do I, blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
that's a good point. I would be so much more upset about the fucking marriage thing.
I feel bad about picking this question because maybe she actually does have like some really bad like mental health issues.
Either that or she's fine and the family are just assholes and she's like, they're not going to take my side because they suck. So I'm still on her side. I think she's telling the truth. But
they tried to convince me I walked into a door with the last husband. I mean, can you believe that? They take his fucking side for everything.
Oh, that's sad too. But so again, just to remind you, so she's 37, the husband's 39. What is not clear is how long they've been married. I mean, because normally like on Reddit, they're pretty good about saying how long they've been together, etc. So it's maybe they.
You're right. A glaring lack of detail.
Yeah. So I mean, one would again, I've only just got married this year. Jake and Amy only got married, 2 years ago.
So this could be a short marriage.
It could be a short marriage, of course. But, maybe they have been married a long time and there have been other episodes or situations in their marriage. And so that's why she fears that the family is not going to believe her. But which is obviously like a sad position. But also at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, okay. I'm just going to go straight to final advice because I don't know where else to turn.
Okay, before we do final advice, let me get some comments in.
Yeah.
Matt on YouTube says, let's see, they show up at your door. Let's see, Joel says, producer Amy says, I would tell you, Matt, but I think, wait, this is an early one. Matt on YouTube says, what's gaslighting? Joel on YouTube says, I pray that Alan Funt jumps out of the bushes. Producer Amy says, I would tell you, Matt, but I think the gurus would have a better response than I would. Gaslighting. I'll tell you.
That's not a thing. You're crazy.
Here's the thing. Women have grown to hate gaslighting. They never used to speak out about it. Gaslighting is when dudes light their farts on fire right in their face, and women hate it now. Like they're finally speaking out against it.
I thought it was like in that old-timey New York movie, Gangsters of New York, where they stood on stilts and lit the gas Like,
Yeah.
we hadn't figured out electricity yet.
It
the
was-
Amish were still in power then, and they did it. And we were still anti-electricity, so we just lit gas on fire in the middle of the street.
The Amish
because
gang on
that
Bowery
sounds
Street.
Safe. Yeah.
They'll cut your nose off and staple it to a donkey. That's how they did it.
That barn's made of human skulls.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joel on YouTube says, "Smile, you're on candid cam. Lady, put the gun down." Let's see. Matt on YouTube says, "It's an acquired taste." He says, "Did she wipe her feet?"
Yes,
the husband
great
did
question.
nothing wrong. Men never do this. Matt said, "Only women behave cheating." She is lying. Sarah said it earlier. Matt says more Robert Burns than Stephen King. I think that's
Sorry,
these
but
are all
also
we're
let's just also acknowledge Matt, because I know
Yes.
I know he thought my name was Sarah for the longest time, but then he put Suzanne.
Oh, that's right. I didn't know what he was talking about. I forgot he thought your name was Sarah before. Yeah.
What a legend.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Matt says, "Let's get married. Suzanne is zapped of enemy after that wedding." Is zapped of energy. Okay, sorry, I read that wrong. Matt says that wedding cake top isn't even cold if the freezer.
They they didn't actually even save our wedding top. The caterer came to us and were like, "There's there's so many people here and they keep eating the cake. Can we cut the wedding cake? Can we cut the topper?" We're like, "Yeah, like we're not gonna save that shit."
Yeah, I did.
Anyway.
Did we save ours? I don't even know now. I mean, I think we had it for a while because we did the thing where you keep a piece in the freezer and eat it a year later.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
We didn't do that.
What's up?
I mean, I know it's a freezer, but would it be good a year
Does it
later?
keep?
No, it's not great.
No, it's not.
It's not
good.
great. It's not as terrible as I thought it would be. But
I
like,
just
it's,
don't.
you know.
Again, like I really wish I had a picture of you, Jake, cutting your own wedding cake, because it was hilarious.
I got one. I was drunk as fuck.
Because
dude.
what was funny, like it wasn't funny, but no one was helping you, and you were kind of like, oh, like Amy, you guys cut the cake, and then Amy went off to go chat with someone. You know, she was just being a gracious host, and then you were just stood there with the cake, and you just kind of turned around and you're like, well, I guess I'll start cutting this shit.
Yep.
And you started cutting.
I started cutting each piece.
And you're like, here, who wants a piece? And we're like, oh my God, someone help him. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Dude, this is the first time I've been married. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing with this cake.
It was so funny.
I don't even make it. Dude, I cook a lot at home. I don't give a fuck about cake. So I've
I know.
never made a cake before. So I'm
But
like, this is the
also
first one
because
I've cut.
it
This
was
is a whole
also like
ordeal.
everyone's like making, you know, we're in a semicircle watching you guys, and then it's like, then all of a sudden you're like literally by yourself in the semicircle. It's like, someone help him! Someone help him cut this cake.
This
It
man
was
is
so
drunk.
funny.
He is exhausted. He's in no mental capacity to be cutting cake right now.
He is
Yeah.
unqualified to cut this cake.
Oh, it was
I've
so
never
Physically
seen
and
someone
professionally.
bomb at cutting cake, but that's
Yeah.
what I'm watching right
no,
now.
it was great. You handled it so well. Anyway, but
he's the
so-
opposite of a cake cutnologist. He sucks.
Yeah, but
He's
so,
got no license.
so going back to this question, my final advice for this person is, again, listen. There's too much left to theorize, so we have to go to science. Unfortunately, and so that is going to include stripping your bed sheets and getting DNA tests, CSI involved.
Yeah.
Was there another woman in your bed? Is there other scientific evidence that we can bring into this equation? Because again, there's not enough, because again, it doesn't make sense to me that a woman came into your house and didn't realize another woman lived there.
I don't think they fucked there before.
No, but obviously the girlfriend knew where she lived. Like,
Yeah,
what
but
are you
I
talking
think she might have. Who knows how she found that out? But like and again, if she's dumb enough to believe that like, this is the maid or whatever, who knows? She's clearly more brainwashed than like the Heaven's Gate people, you know. But
that's
like,
sad.
so
Oh,
who
that's
fucking
sad.
knows? I would think that for the most part, he's sleeping with her outside the house, on the count of the whole wife could come home.
But
There's
then
pictures
she's-
of her everywhere.
But then she'd know that he has a wife and not assume it's the maid or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. But I think
If they're not sleeping in...
if they were sleeping together outside the house, then it makes sense that he would be like, well, I don't like to have people over or whatever the fuck. But if she's been over there a bunch of times, I'm sure she's seen pictures. Unless this guy just hides all the pictures or whatever the fuck. Every time his wife goes to work, he just does it quick, like boom, 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 and he's got like his
There's
fucking
one
method
closet
down
that's
pat.
filled with photos and
Oh my God.
and she opens the door by mistake and a bunch of photos fall
Yeah.
on. And it's all the wife and the kids and the family.
I've already okay, and so again, I
He
feel
has
like
a little button. He goes, "Brr," and all the pictures go, and it's just him.
No, I
just
was-
cropped out of every photo.
I was
My side piece button.
no.
Why are you standing funny? Oh, I had a fucked up back that day. I was just in Aruba with a
No.
fucked up back. I had to lean. It felt
I
bad.
think that Jack the cat has given us the clue that we have been looking for
Sure.
this question. That's why he walked past us 87 times. I think that maybe the husband.
I think the husband loves pussy. Wait,
I
wait,
think
go ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
I think the husband maybe found someone who is found someone on adult friend finder whatever that's allergic to cats, and then said,
that's a move.
"Oh, I've got a cat.
Yeah.
Never come over to my house because you have a cat." And then the mistress, the girlfriend, took an Allegra and then came over to the house and was like, "You know what? I'm gonna overcome this cat allergy I have," and knocked on the door. And then that's when the wife answers. So she knew where he lived.
She's got 3 Allegras
But
and a
the
nose pill.
husband-
I'm
the-
finally here to see where he lives.
the
I'm finally
husband the
here.
whole time was just like, "Oh, don't come in. We've got a cat. It's gonna blow up your allergies. It's gonna be terrible."
Babe, I know
Genius.
we've been seeing each other for a year and a half. I have a kitty sanctuary. I adopt them, and I find sort of like Howard Stern's wife does. I have 35 cats.
Shut up.
in
That's
my
really
sanctuary.
that's smart.
That's
a
the move.
smart way to
Oh
cheat.
yeah, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I sort of, as much as I've referenced cults tonight, this guy has sort of like the cunningness of the evilness of a cult leader. But he's like, I just want one side piece.
Yeah.
I don't need to have like a whole harem of women.
like a
chained
small batch
to
cult guy.
radiators while I
just found
while I
someone
make up new
allergic to
verses to the
dander.
Bible or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck. I don't need all that. Like I just want one side piece who believes that my wife is my maid, and I'm happy. I'm a simple kind of cult leader. You know what I mean?
Told her Claritin has microchips in it. We're good.
Okay, I feel like I've given my
Baby,
my
be
final
a simple
advice.
kind of cult leader. That's what Leonard Skinner's mom used to say. You know,
It doesn't need to be an 8-minute song, but
I hear you. They could have chopped out one of the 7 guitar solos.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And what's the point?
I can safely say there's only one time that I've listened to Freebird through its entirety that I was happy with it. I was only roasting marshmallows.
Yeah.
I don't take that information for what it's worth.
Yeah, you know
But-
the last words as that plane was going down was, "We should have added one more solo." Like that was the last word before it hit the ground.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so I feel like I've given my final advice to this person. What's your guys' final advice?
I think she's telling the truth. I think the girlfriend showed up and, like I said, just panicked and just started spouting nonsense, or maybe sense, actually, in truth. I think she's worried that her family won't believe her because just we don't believe women, and their family are probably not great human beings.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
I'm 1,000% on this lady's side.
I don't know, dude. It sounds like her own mother doesn't believe her. I think hashtag mothers believe women most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Unless their daughters were a little.
Yeah. I don't know. Alex has a point. Yeah. Brock, what's your final advice?
I think it's a story of empowerment, really. Like you said, she overcome her allergy of cats to surprise the guy, and we should really embrace that. You know, like
She's the real
Yeah.
hero here.
really. And
It's shouldn't we embrace the evolution of science?
Absolutely,
the
modern
advancement of
medicine.
science over personal relationship.
that should be
People
a
have been
commercial
having-
for like anti-allergy or
Yeah,
something like
people
have
that.
been
With
having
clarity,
relationships.
I can visit my the wife of my boyfriend or something like that.
Yeah, people have been having relationships for thousands of years, but we've just cured cat allergies. What are you talking about?
a
Every
good story.
allergy commercial, it's people playing football and smile. It's never 2 women about to choke each other.
Yeah.
I want that Allegra commercial.
Or should choke the
Like-
husband, basically.
Yes, that'd be even
True.
better.
And also, sick Zing to Viagra and what's the other Cialis or whatever. You know, it's like oh you're worried about your intercouple relationship. How about a allergy medicine blowing past you? Oh, you can't get it up? What about if we cure your cat allergy? Now you can get it up for the neighbor. What? Okay. Anyway.
Yeah,
that was,
no. John
sad.
Cusack's shittiest movie was where he gets over allergies to hook up with the lady.
Oh,
you know,
is it
was in-
Serendipity? Is that a shout out to that
It was
movie?
Sneezendipity. And he,
Holds up
That
a bottle of
movie is-
Benadryl outside the window.
Yeah, that movie is cute. And you know what's actually sad isn't it Tom Brady's ex that isn't in Serendipity? John Cusack
shit.
is about to marry. God, what's her name?
Giselle Bundchen?
No. Tom Brady's first baby mama.
Didn't know there was one.
Her name, Bridget.
oh man, see, I hate when I make a reference that's so deep that I know nothing
I know,
about
this-
it, and then
this
I get
is
called
not-
on.
yeah.
I got fucking called on it, man.
But
yeah.
I'm pretty sure what happens in the movie is that John Cusack is about to marry. Her name's like Bridget something, but she is Tom. Okay, so what happens in the movie is that John.
Are you
Cusack,
sure it's not Giselle Bundchen?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
John Cusack is about to marry Bridget, and
I
then-
hate that you know
and
more
then-
both about John Cusack romantic comedies than me, and more about sports than me. Like I can't fucking do well
But
in any
anyway,
category.
so then what happens is that obviously he doesn't, and he falls for the vampire woman, a vampire legend movie woman or whatever.
Oh, Buffy. Buffy.
No.
Jessica Biel came back. No.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Kate Beckinsale.
But so essentially, so Bridget in the movie she then plays out her own real life. You know, she's the character in her own real life movie where her own. You know, she has a baby with Tom Brady, and he leaves her for Giselle Bundchen.
Nice.
It's like she like manifested her own life in like a really kind of sad. I don't know. Maybe it's not sad.
You know what? You know what
awesome.
Giselle
I have
Bundchen
no
said
idea.
the first time she went over to Tom Brady's house. I didn't know you had a maid.
Oh,
That's
I
right.
thought you were going to say, "Why are your doors so small?" They're both very tall.
Yeah. How? Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Giselle's like 6'1", he's like 6'4",
Really?
maybe.
Well, I knew he was tall.
Yeah.
He plays football, but I didn't know anything about Giselle Bundchen really.
She's tall. She's a model. What are you
I
talking
don't know.
about?
But I mean, I didn't know all models are tall. I knew they were in the 90s. I didn't know. Here's,
What are you talking?
I don't know if you. I don't.
You
okay.
didn't know all models were tall. All models are tall.
All right, listen.
Kate
believe it
Upton's
or
like
not,
5'10", right?
but models don't
All
like to
models
date
are
me.
tall.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'm not around models a lot. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, what's your final advice for this person, Jake? This is about the girlfriend coming over, just in case we forgot about
Oh.
the question altogether.
Yeah. The girlfriend coming over
Yeah.
so she did confront the husband, right?
No,
yeah.
the wife confronted the husband.
Yeah, and she's just lying about the whole thing. So it's you obviously know that he's cheating with her, you know, unless this is some bizarre way that this lady's going to make it into Delta Chi or whatever. This is a sorority challenge of some kind. So
Might be.
You know that he's cheating. You have a good idea of when you're not around him, so you just got to follow him, you know, and you have to follow him while he's impaired. I think you give him a few blue White Claws. You know what I
Wait,
mean?
I've heard
Let it
this advice
slip up.
before.
Let it
I've heard
slip
this
up.
advice before.
You know, it's when you have a magic syrup sitting in front of you. Do you not tell people to use it?
It's really just a truth slurry. If
yeah.
we want to,
This podcast has been brought to you by White Claw Blackberry Purple.
Yeah.
Remember that scene in True Lies when they shoot him full of that sodium pentothal truth serum and he can't tell a lie? That shit was actually just a blue White Claws, man.
Yeah, fair
like
enough.
that's, you know. So give him some of those. Follow him. You know, hopefully he doesn't crash his car, but unless he's cheating, and fuck him, he deserves to crash his car.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, we answered that question. What I love about this podcast is when we have great guests such as Barak and Alex.
Yes.
We are so chatty. So therefore, I think let's just do lightning round and then call it a night.
Absolutely, especially since the cat's by me.
I know.
I don't have a lot of time left.
We're all gonna die.
We are.
Yeah.
We're all very concerned about our lives. And I really want to tell a true story. I was getting ready this morning, and I swear to God that there was like a demon in my apartment. I can't explain it, but
Sure.
I was in such a good mood, and then all of a sudden I was in such a bad mood, and I swear to God there was
Right.
a demon in my apartment.
And you know what
Yes,
that
if you
demon
want to
said is the demon turned to her husband and said, "I didn't know you had a maid." Oh, shit.
I'm very worried about my ride home. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, let's just do lightning round.
Lightning round on the Love Gurus podcast. We're going to take our last question. We are going to read this question off and then give a quick hot take each on it. Joel on YouTube says it was one of the survivors that told the story on YouTube. Can't remember which one. I think they're talking. From everything I've read and watched lately, the last one, I knew he would know the last words of Leonard Skinner. Jesus Christ. He says, for everything I've read and watched lately, the last words on the Skinner plane was trees, followed by the sound of the trees hitting the bottom of the plane. True story.
Joel, you naughty boy.
Dude.
Joel, you're a naughty boy.
That was the last song. But here's the thing. After they yelled trees, they still somehow followed it with a 17-minute guitar solo. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it.
Sad.
Matt on YouTube says, hang on to your navel, Kylian. They no good for nothing else. Let's see. Matt says, if you girls to a weekend to relax, you know well will behave, Suzanne, and who knows Tom Brady's farts wife, the one.
Is this written by ChatGPT? What is
I
this?
don't know, man.
Noise.
Who knows Tom Brady's farts wife, the one he knew in college. Let's see.
Yeah.
He was a child with Tom Brady. Yeah.
Her name was Bridget Moynihan. That's it. Bridget Moynihan.
There we go.
Was she a True Detective? Am I thinking of her? Or...
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she was the wife?
She's like a
No.
brunette.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's her.
Yeah.
Could be. Either way, we
I'm
cracked
not
the code on that
I'm
one.
not really up on Tom Brady's wives.
Yeah. No.
Not really.
I mean, I know is he even into his earlier wives? He makes out with his kids more, right? I mean, that's more what Tom Brady's into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Dalai Lama could do a competition or something. Like that. Weren't they also like kissing a kid or something?
I mean, let's be honest. John Cusack, I'm sure is very charming. So that's tough. Okay, lightning round.
Last question, lightning round on the Love Gurus podcast.
Last question. Fiance invited friends on our honeymoon. I'm 28, my fiance is 24. We're getting married in the next few weeks, and we're going to be going on a honeymoon for 6 days at a nice resort. Surprisingly, 2 of my fiance's friends are going to the same resort to quote-unquote hang out with us. These were my fiance's words. I told my fiance that I wasn't happy with that and that I thought it was a bit inconsiderate on their end. I felt like we should be spending all the time that we can alone and not with other people around. Am I right to be upset, or what do I say to my fiance? So to give a quick recap, these people are going on their honeymoon for 6 days to a resort, and the fiance, I guess it's unclear if the fiance invited them or if it just happened that, well, it says invited in the question, but
it says it right there in the title.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how else friends end up on your honeymoon, you know?
I think it's fine. Who cares? You that precious?
Really?
Really?
Wow.
6 days? Have you ever spent 6 days alone with one person?
I mean,
blow your brains out at the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it sounds miserable.
I mean, I'm married. I'm saying that as a married woman.
It's so funny because I figured that like a dude would way more be cool with this, but like it's funny. Suzanne's like, who gives a fuck? All right, let's
I think it's fine. Again, I'm not saying
wow.
like again. What do you think is going to happen? You think that it's going to be like 12 o'clock? It's going to be midnight, and your friends are going to be like peering into your room to like watch you guys. Like, what are you talking about? It's like
his best friend is Bubba the Love Sponge, and the whole thing's on tape now.
Who cares?
It's like not only does it have us consummating our marriage, it has me saying the N-word. Jesus Christ! Why did you film this?
If they paid money to go to the resort, maybe they also just again, maybe it just worked out. It was like, we're going to be there at the same time. Cool. Let's have lunch.
Who would want to go and hang out with their friend on the honeymoon thing? Like, I don't want to hang out with my friend who just got married or something.
But I'm not saying that you spend the whole. It's not like you go on like excursions together and like whatever. Like you meet for sundowners or whatever. Who cares? Like, what's the again? Like, it's when you spend 20, and I have spent more than a week with my husband 24/7.
Sure.
If my friends were like, oh, by the way, we're going to be at the same resort,
right.
or if they had asked for like a recommendation of a good resort, and the fiance was just like, "Listen, this is a good. We're gonna go here for our honeymoon. It's a good time. Whatever."
I mean, if they
It's
happen to already have tickets, that's the only way that makes sense, man. Like, that's a weird
I don't know.
invite.
I just think
you know?
it's like so. Again,
Especially without talking to her first. You know what I mean?
You gotta
like, that's
ask
a fucking
first.
like. It's one thing to bring it up. It's another thing to be like, "Hey, honey, I got us the dream vacation, honeymoon, and surprise, Dawn and Jim are coming too." You know, like it's just a weird. It's a weird thing to
that's
just
not-
assume she's cool with.
But that's not my read at all. My read is not, that they're going to be doing everything together. It's just, these two friends are going to be staying at the same resort. We may bump into them. We may not.
Oh, man.
We're not
I think
committed to
he-
anything.
I think he's
Maybe
regretting
they're
marrying
clingy
her.
friends, though. Like, she might not know that they're going to have the boundaries to leave them alone. Maybe they'll want to hang
Right.
out all the time.
no. Again,
We don't know.
They're
If
just
they're going to
married.
tag
They're-
along to
they're
a
just-
honeymoon,
they're just
they don't
married.
have a good sense of
It
boundaries.
sounds like these are two single girls. Their objectives at the resort are
Different.
100% different.
Okay.
The objective of these two friends is to go out and get and find other people. The objective of the honeymoon couple is to just be with each other. So it's like, cool, okay, maybe
Yeah.
meet for
Wait a minute.
breakfast. Don and Bridget, let's do this. Giselle and Bridget, your objective is to go out and find your Tom Brady. Again, to me, it's totally
I thought it was a
different.
woman writing the question. It's a
It's
dude.
it's a male writing the question.
Oh yeah, dude, you're not supposed to be that picky about this shit. That's for them.
Oh,
Sorry, like I'm sorry. It's one of those things. It's sort of like most dudes don't really care about the wedding planning part, and so it's like
But again,
whatever.
I think it's totally fine. Like again, like these women are just gonna happen to be there at the same time. Who cares? Like
That's for them. Yeah. Producer Amy says I'm going with Suzanne on her honeymoon.
Oh my god, it would have been so fun. Well,
Yeah.
we are going on our honeymoon next week. So Amy, if you want to, I'll tell you where we're staying. And if you want to meet up for lunch,
Well, we're going on our honeymoon the end of next month. We should have co-honeymooned. You know,
Oh, that
that's
would've
the
been
move.
fun.
I think co-honeymooning is in because then it's like you want the time alone, and then but you'll also kind of like, hey, but let's go have a quick lunch together.
I
That
don't
kind of
know.
thing,
I
you
feel
know?
like the term co-honeymoon like indicates swingers, which I don't.
It's a
really
little
want.
thrupply,
that's
right?
That's true. If we just said that with no details attached,
Oh, we're
people
gonna
would-
co-honeymoon.
yeah.
It's like, I don't
It's
know.
like,
Yeah.
this is a gross episode of Real Sex on HBO, right? Where it's just two couples in their 40s just going at it, flab everywhere, spilling drinks all over the
That's
place,
not. No one was.
listening to Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the worst part.
Yeah.
They're listening to the Buffett deep cuts, man.
Oh.
I'm talking the stuff he wrote
Cheeseburger
in
in
the
Paradise?
90s. No, that's hits. I'm talking.
How
I'm
dare-
talking stuff in the
how dare-
90s.
How
I'm talking.
dare
they're
you call
listening
my
to
snatch a
Buffett in the 90s.
cheeseburger?
See, when you read between the lines, you see what Jimmy Buffett was really singing about.
Anyway, okay, so we, to try and stick true to this, let's try a new lightning round. Alex, so what's your final advice for this person?
I'm a little torn because I can see a version of bringing this to a fiance, be like, we're going to go here. By the way, they were wondering somewhere where to go. We like them. Is it okay if I say, you guys go hang out and we'll meet up for drinks every 2 days or whatever, and that being okay? If I was getting married and my wife was like, I invited someone on our honeymoon, I would be kind of bummed out. Like, oh, cool. So that thing we're supposed to do, just us, is not enough. Great. Cool. So I don't know how I would react. I might be a little sad if that was brought to me as part of the deal.
Okay. Yeah, and to be fair, that part's not clarified in the sense of like,
Yeah.
as far as like inviting them along,
Yeah.
Sure.
that it's let's invite them along because we're not gonna have that much fun. And again, but that part's not clarified, so we can't really. Speak
Yeah,
to
there's
that
a healthy
point.
version of this. It's just, how often are people on Reddit doing the healthy version of anything?
Oh, never.
So I don't know if that was the one that happened.
Yeah, definitely. So Barak, what's your final advice for these people?
I know. If I have a fiance and she's bringing friends on a honeymoon, that means that she's not happy with me or something. And that there's a bigger question to ask here, and a whole fight that will ruin the honeymoon. So I don't know. I don't know. I would.
He's like, it's not worth it.
Would you sort of just let it slide until afterwards, or would you make sure it's sorted before the wedding?
Probably a story before the wedding. You want to make sure you're in the right path with that person.
Yeah.
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 So you don't want to realize, hey, you know what? She's not happy with me. That she can't spend 6 days, and she got to bring her friends as support, as backup. Maybe
that's a good
it's not the
point.
right person to marry. So
That and so I didn't even think about this. They haven't been married yet. I didn't think about the fact that they're not married yet.
Yeah.
See, maybe it's because I'm taking my honeymoon like 2 years after my my wedding, so I'm kind of trash. But like
It's not trash. It's smart.
It's yeah. I mean that's,
Fiscally responsible.
and that's why it took you about 4 seconds to say that after I
And
said
also,
that
the world
yeah,
was
yeah.
full of poison air for a few
waiting
years
for the-
there.
I was waiting for the price tickets to fall down so I can
Yeah.
buy a plane ticket.
No. We didn't care about COVID. We had the wedding in the middle of COVID. And we all invited all the old people. We didn't give a
Oh,
shit.
okay.
Yeah.
So this was how bad y'all
That's
want
like the
it.
middle. It was like the back 75%.
It sounds like you were trying to clean house, was getting rid of the old people.
Oh yeah. We don't even believe in COVID in the state that I'm from. Are you kidding me?
That was your wedding was the first time that like I walked into the hotel to check in. And I had a mask on, and none of the hotel staff had masks on. I
Goddamn
thought,
right.
Got it. Okay.
COVID is something from a Harry
gotta-
fucking
this-
Potter book, as
we're
far as we're
here.
concerned in Iowa.
But it was,
That's right.
we had a great time though, and we also didn't get COVID. So
It's
that's
great.
a result.
Well, yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing about. That's a great thing about like middle of the country flyover states where there's no vacation spots. They're kind of already naturally socially distanced. I mean, there's not a lot of
It
people
was.
around, so
Pretty much everywhere,
yeah.
because it was the summer. Also, like everywhere where we ate was outdoors.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was fun.
I've never felt less afraid of COVID
Sangria.
than when I went there. It was great. Second week, stop barking.
Sorry,
Oh,
Jake.
that goddamn
So
dog.
what's your final advice?
All right. So my final advice would be all right. Well, I have a couple pieces now that I realize that the wedding hasn't happened. I say write passive aggressive vows. You know what I meend? Like I vow not to bring my stupid ass friends on a honeymoon. Only a shit spouse would do that, right, honey? I vow not to do it. You know, I just throw a quick little fun one in there. Or what you can do is she wants to invite her friends. Fine. Invite a couple of your friends, you know, make it a thing.
It's an arms
And
race.
Make it. That's right. That's right. You escalated. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You fucking escalated.
Space race this shit.
Yeah.
Love it.
Uh-huh.
Love
You go. Khrushchev versus Reagan. You know what I'm saying? In the '80s, you just fucking Cold War. Just be like, don't worry. I'm just building nukes to look at them. You know, don't worry about it. Like that's the way you do it. You just be like, listen, if Crystal and Sarah were really that happy, they wouldn't be going on vacation together. They need a man. They need Gary and Frank. I'm inviting Gary and Frank, and you just see how she likes that shit.
That's not where I thought you were going. I thought if she's inviting Crystal and Tina, you're gonna invite your own Crystal and Tina.
Oh, like two other women?
Yeah, but
Oh.
paid.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Yeah. Okay. Listen, dude. If you're actually the guy from the last question, like if this is like your third secret wife or whatever the fuck, then yeah, you got to go hog wild. You got to go for the record. Like up yourself, dude. Like
Yeah.
up.
She's gonna
yeah.
show up to the honeymoon. I didn't know you had 2 maids.
Yeah. Invite Crystal and your first wife that none of these women know about.
Oh my
You
God.
know what I mean?
Can
Just
you
fucking-
imagine? I'm sorry. Can you imagine getting on a JetBlue flight and there's a woman in an actual maid's like costume?
It's just- and then you ask her like, "What are you doing here?" And she's just like,
my honeymoon.
"She's like, I'm an escort worker. Saudi princes will pay you a lot of money to do stuff. What do you want?" They got yeah.
Like going
I'm
through
flying
customs
first
in a
class,
maid
dressed
outfit.
like a maid.
Yeah.
It's the most money I've ever paid just to kick a guy in the balls twice, and then dust off a marble countertop.
Do you know
and
what?
Fly
Though,
back
if I
to Hoboken.
if I sat next to that woman in JetBlue, I would effing high five her, and I'd be like, "Get it, girl."
Yeah, she rules.
Get it.
I like her.
I would high five her, and I would have so much respect for her.
I just want to know everything.
I would buy her drinks the whole way. Definitely.
How did you get here? And where are you going?
Yeah.
You're fascinating.
What a legend.
You
Yeah.
gotta start posting on Craigslist in Dubai. I'm telling you, you won't have to be a shitty stewardess anymore. You be a pretend maid.
Yeah.
Fuck one guy twice a year. That's
Yeah.
the move.
Amazing. Well, perfect. I think we answered that question. I don't know, Jake, if you want to address like the last few comments that we have. From
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Matt,
I'm
who's
trying
a
to log
legend.
her into-
Jake has too much to do right now. He's also the only one that can read that far. So,
God damn it.
sorry,
I hate
Matt.
being the only literate person on this podcast.
Yeah.
I got this. Let's see. Joel on YouTube says, I agree with your guess about Reddit. I went to Reddit reading bowling ball reviews and feel like I need therapy.
Yeah. What's the best bowling ball I should buy? Oh, the Jews? Oh, great. Cool.
Is this an anti-Semitic bowling league? Jesus, look at the logos on their bowling shirts. This is insane. They got Yeezy bowling shirts? How is this even a thing? I didn't know Kanye made bowling shirts. This is insane. The bowling shirts look like socks. It's crazy. Just like those ugly shoes. Matt on YouTube says, I don't like football. I want to ride the turtle on the honeymoon. Matt says, thanks.
I don't know what ride the turtle on the honeymoon means, but that probably is a phrase.
That's right.
Have you ever seen like those videos of like tortoises like fucking? You know, they're just like the male tortoises is like,
yeah. To be fair, it took him like 2 weeks to walk over to the other side of the
They live for 200 years. You know, they got all the
Yeah.
time he needs.
that time it.
He
tortoises
comes like
have
the crypt
time.
keeper. That's just what happens. He's a tortoise.
It takes him 25 years to finish. There's
like
so many new presidents by the end.
The tortoises come face both looks and sounds like Mitch McConnell.
Yes.
It's just what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see. Matt on YouTube says, thanks, Mr. President. He says blow dryers and banana clips, curling irons and elbow lotion messing up my sheets, T-shirt Steelers all included. You didn't go nowhere punchy. The men are gay together and she accepts it.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but it's only women in the question, right?
Yeah.
There's no dudes, right? Except for the husband in the.
In the question, but again, I think that maybe Matt's expanding our minds. We can
Could
whoever.
be. Yeah.
It's all good.
I say just invite more people. You know what? And
The
invite a
more
maid.
the-
It's going to
the more
get
the
messy.
merrier. Why are we
It's
getting
gonna
so?
get
Why are we
messy.
getting so precious about our honeymoons? Thank you, Matt.
Absolutely. This has been an awesome episode.
Yeah.
Thank you to our guests. Thank you to Barak Ziv.
Yeah.
Thank you to Alex Fossella.
Yeah.
Thank you to all the listeners out there, especially if you watched and commented live on YouTube. Thank you to Joel. Thank you to Matt. Thank you to producer Amy. Until next week, like and subscribe. Watch and listen live. Give us your comments. Give us your questions.
Not to be that person, but actually, we are off next week.
Oh, shit. Are we?
Oh no, we're off next
We're
week.
off
but
the
we're off
following
the
week.
following
Yeah,
week.
yeah. So catch us here next week, but not the following week. Until next week, later.